Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, I will be taking a look at the Kershaw Kuro, so please stay tuned. So let's get started with the most exciting part of the video, and that's the unboxing. It comes in a typical red Kershaw box. The serial number, or the model number, is 1835TB LKSTWM MOUSE. Here's the knife, and these things probably usually come in plastic wrap, but this was the last one that Walmart had, and it was the display. Luckily, they still had the box, so I could do the unboxing for you. So let's see what they give you with this material here. It looks like we have some congratulatory statement here. Congratulations, you own another Kershaw. Hooray. And I kind of like that. I like when a company says congratulations on your purchase. I remember that would always be in instructions of stuff that you bought back in the 70s, but you don't see that too much these days. So I feel great that I've been congratulated. Like I've accomplished something. I bought a great product, right? So they talk about a lot of the features and some simple instructions here on the knife, and really that's it. Oh, they even show you instructions on the angle to sharpen the blade, so that is quite impressive. So really good. Actually, these are probably the first useful instructions I've seen that come with a knife in a very long time. So let's talk about the Kuro and the name. That's spelled K-U-R-O. And the Kuro knife is a tactical style folder that is spring assisted for quick deployment. And the word Kuro, or Kuro, I hope I'm saying it right, is Japanese for black, because it's all black. Before we start taking a close look at this blade, I did want to go ahead and show you these instructions. Again, the amount of detail of items covered in these instructions are actually pretty impressive. Even sharpening, and of course you get your warranty information here. They talk about oiling the blade to, for preserving it. Again, the congratulations, really cool, and how to open it and all that stuff. Really, really impressive. They explain to you the different types of locks: frame lock, lighter lock. Again, one of the most useful instructions I've seen in a very long time. So anyway, before we get started, I'd like to go ahead and talk about what I see as the role of this knife, and that is it's a mid-sized, inexpensive EDC knife or beater, and that's because it's relatively inexpensive, but we'll go into why I think that here shortly. So what does this feature? This features the speed safe assisted opening. You can see it is an assisted opening. It comes out there really fast. Ooh, feels sharp. Does have steel liners. It has a liner lock. Go ahead and show you that right there. And you can see it's right there about in right before the middle, so it's not too early, not too late. And it looks like it has some life there for a while. It is a modified tonneau style blade. It has like a coating on it. It says that it's a black oxide coated blade. Next we have a 3-position clip. Now this clip is kind of a little small, little stiff clip there. I'm not a big fan of this clip, but it can be put in 3 different positions. Now for right-handed, you could do tip up or tip down. If you're left-handed, it is tip up only, because there's the holes right there for left-handed, so it would be tip up. It's a flipper style. If you notice, there are no thumb studs here, so you just use the flipper that is right there. So you just sort of give it a little assist, and bang, it's open. Now that flipper ends up down here once the blade is fully deployed, which sort of acts as a guard for your hand, so it sort of extends this finger choil out a little bit more to prevent your hand from slipping onto the blade if you are stabbing something. Now, if you notice, this is a partially serrated blade, and I believe that's the only way that it comes. So if you don't like serrations or not a fan of them, you're sort of out of luck. I'm not a big fan of serrations, but you know, for you know, EDC beater kind of knife, I think it's fine. Plus, it can help you get out of some situations, or cutting rope, or seat belts, or whatnot. I swore I'd never say whatnot in a video, and there I go, and that's from watching so many YouTube knife and gun reviews. Anyway, you also get a lanyard hole. It definitely looks big enough for 550 cord. So let's talk about the specifications of this knife. It is Chinese 8CR13 MOV blade steel, or steel for the blade, which is the equivalent to 440B, the US stainless steel. And again, it is black oxide coated. The handle, you can see it's black. It's a glass filled nylon, or GFN. The blade length is 3 1/8 inches long. When you close this up, it's a nice compact 4 1/8 inches. When it's open, the full length of this is 7 1/4 inches. Aren't some X boring? Anyway, weight goes, it's 4.2 ounces, which is pretty good for EDC. You know, it's not too heavy, but it's not too light either. And again, it's because it has the steel liners that sort of make it a little bit heavier. And now everyone's going to cringe. This is made in China, of course. You're getting a lot here, and I'll tell you the price here in a second. So it is made in China. So because it's made in China, the price is going to be cheap, which is usually the case. The manufacturer retail price is $39.95, which I definitely would not pay. But you should be able to find this for about $20 to $25. I think let's go ahead and just take a quick look. You know, I got this macro here, so let's go ahead and do a quick fly over there. Let you see inside. See that liner lock. If you notice, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like it does have brass washers in there, which helps smooth it out. And it is a relatively smooth and fast deploying blade. Take a look at the other side. Nothing to write home about. It's all black. And you can see you have torque screws here for your pivot screws, so you can go ahead and adjust that. And you have some torques here, so you can go ahead and disassemble. Now, this is not a pillow design. It does have a spacer that really closes it up, so it might be a little difficult to clean out if you get a lot of pocket lint in there. So let's go ahead and do some testing. The first thing that I'd like to try to remember to cover is blade centering. So let's see how that looks. It looks like it's pretty much dead center, which is pretty impressive for a cheap Chinese-made knife. Good attention to detail there. Properly adjusted when it leaves the factory. I like it. Next is lockup. Lockup is about right in the middle. I do prefer it to be a little bit earlier, but squarely behind the tang of the blade. But it's a little bit deeper in there, but it's not so late that it's going to wear out very quickly. So it's definitely good. Next is the paper cut test. We do this to basically see how sharp it is when it leaves the factory. And wow, I'm almost push cutting right there. Now, in some reviews, they say it's not sharp. Now, if you can see, I'm not going like this. I'm simply, like, I'm just moving it slightly over to get it started, and right there, I am push cutting. So that shows it's very, very sharp. Now, I got a little bit of hair here on my finger. I'm going to see if I can shave that off. And wow. All right, so there's all my hair right there. You can see it. It comes shaving sharp. So very sharp from the factory. Very impressive. The next thing I do usually is a stab test. Now I don't go, this is soft pine. I'm just making sure that there's no fundamental flaw like in heat treatment where the tip would just break off very easily. This is not really an abuse test. But I do sort of go back and forth a little bit like this. you know, and the tip of a blade should be able to handle pine, you know, doing this, and it should come out pretty good. So there's the, where are you? There's the tip right there. It did not bend in any way. It held up pretty good. No problems there. Doesn't even look like the, well, you know, it doesn't even look like the coating seemed to hold up pretty good. I've had knives where the coating came off just doing that. So pretty good. So I'll tell you, there is a lot to like about this blade and not much to dislike. So basically the good is you got a very fast assisted opening blade. It's really pretty ambidextrous, you know, except for the limited clip placement for left-handed. It's pretty ambidextrous, pretty well perfect for both left and right-handed. It's very value priced. Again, you can find this for $20 to $25, which is really good. And I didn't even mention the ergonomics. You know, it's not a large knife. It's relatively, you know, it's mid-sized. But they got the blade. You know, I have medium to large hands, and you can see my hand is just about covering it all up. But it feels like it was molded, at least to my hand. So very impressive, and even reverse grip, because you can see how this is sort of angled like this, which is the way I like the back of my scales here, or the handle. So your thumb just sort of rests naturally over it. It's comfortable no matter how you no matter how you hold this. And whenever I do a stabbing motion, I always get a comment about, "Yep, there's another freak on YouTube with a knife." So the ergonomics are outstanding for this knife. You know, the texture, the texture on this knife is kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan of it, but someone might be. That's you know, that's an opinion. I would rather have a conventional checkering type of pattern, but you know, it's just great feeling knife. And the last thing is, looks like you have bronze washers in there, not the cheap Teflon ones. So what's the bad? Well, the bad is it's made in China, except that would be good for people made, or for people made in China. It would be good for people in China. But for the rest of us, we got so many things made in China. So I'm going to put that on the bad, as well as the clip is very small, very stiff. I would like to see one of those larger, fatter, typical Kershaw clips, not this cheap little one that's pretty stiff. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. A really quick, easy 9 out of 10, no problem. This thing is definitely worth $20 for what you get. It's a whole bunch of knife. Great for EDC. You could obviously push it into a defensive role, being a tonneau blade, or you got the serration, so you could cut your rope and seatbelt for emergencies and things like that. So just a great all-purpose blade. The one bad thing about tonneau style is they're a little bit more difficult to sharpen, so you have to get a little more skill there, or get a friend who likes to sharpen knives. But 9 out of 10, highly recommend it. Get them while you can. No secret that I got this at Walmart for like $19.95. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I hope you have a great weekend. Take care.